We live 90% of our lives unconsciously and only 10% consciously. The key distinction that you need to be mindful of in the context of pricing psychology and really maximizing your profit is the fact that when we look at spending 90% of our lives unconsciously, our unconscious mind is largely the domain of our emotions, and a lot of the behaviors that we do are emotionally triggered. Whereas when we talk about the conscious mind, that 10% that we live there, that's very much about logic, it's about rationale, it's about steps and procedures. The first purchase people make is the purchase they make emotionally. And so let's have a look at this from the perspective of the marketplace. And often when people go and they look at their pricing strategies, they often will go straight to, well, how do I do it and what am I going to charge? When we talk about the frames of actually putting together your pricing psychology, what's really important is we need to know, why is it that people want what it is that you're talking about? You know, what kind of impact is it going to make to them? What is the problems that are going to be solved as a result of making that investment? What is it that you're going to give to them as a result of that purchase and how much it is? When will you give it to them by? What is the time frames in which you would deliver? When can they expect a result? When will they be able to enjoy the thing that you're actually sharing with them? Who are they, importantly? If you don't know who the person is and what things inspire them, what things actually impact the way that they live and how does this thing affect, what often happens is people will go straight to the how, or they'll go straight to the what in terms of the pricing. When you're defining pricing, if you don't actually know your why and your who, then your what and your how is completely irrelevant. And so one of the things that I'd like to encourage you to think about is, what is the why for your audience? I know that Simon Sinek talks a lot about what's your why in the context of why do you do what you do, but I think at the end of the day, we also have to look at, why is it important for the people that are engaging with your product or your service or with you? Why is it important to them? Because the how just won't work if you don't get your why, your when, and your who. And so this is a really important thing to keep in mind when you're looking at your pricing.